Yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show, man. Today is December the 22nd, 2024. We got only 3 games on the board for today, so we'll be super quick. I actually don't even have a recap yesterday. I put it in Discord this morning, but yesterday, even before the show yesterday, I said that I had a lot going on yesterday. I saw the injury report, kind of like players just kind of being ruled out. Players that didn't thought would be ruled in. I just stayed away from the NBA altogether yesterday. So no recap for me. I didn't make any bets yesterday, which makes it easier to do a recap today. No bets for me yesterday. Like I said, just 3 games on the board for today. So we'll go through those. 2 of them I kind of went through in detail. One of them I'm going to make an official play. And then 2 of them, one of them we'll talk through. The other one I kind of got to finish going through. So we'll do that on the show for today. What up, GLB Bets? He says, what up, Chris and fam? We all gonna get paid today. Love that energy. Happy Sunday to you, Christian. Appreciate you for tapping in. Chris says, let's go, Chris. Waiting for you. Let's do it. What up, Cedric? Marquise in here with me as always. Christian says, yo, Chris, love the show. Let's get it. Appreciate that for sure, bro. What up, Brian? Always in here rocking with me. Justin in here rocking with me. He says, let's have a day for the holidays today, fellas and ladies. And I think we should do just that. So, like I said, just 3 games on the board for today. Let's jump into it. First, we always talk about jaXon. I asked jaXon specifically, put my hood up because it's a little chilly down here in the man cave. I asked jaXon specifically today about the Raptors and the Rockets total. So that is the first game that we'll go to. jaXon says that the analysis. So we start with the Rockets' recent form. The Rockets are coming off a 133-113 win over the Pelicans, which they shot over 50% from the field for the first time in 10 games. However, their shooting accuracy has been inconsistent, which could impact the total. Raptors struggles. So the Raptors are on a 6-game losing streak, but have been competitive in games, especially at home. They have covered they have covered 11 of the last 15 spreads. They also are averaging 19.7 fast break points per game at home, the best in the NBA, which could push the pace. Head-to-head trends, the Raptors have won 5 of the last 6 meetings overall and 4 of the last 5 at home, suggesting that they tend to perform well against the Rockets. So the recommendation, if you're looking to bet the total, the over 224.5 could be a solid play. The Rockets' recent offensive surge and the Raptors' fast-paced home-style play makes this a compelling option. However, keep in mind that the Rockets shooting inconsistently, which could temper the score. This is so interesting because I typed these prompts into jaXon because it's always something that I want to give you guys, and I never read them before. I always read them during the game, and it's interesting because I was kind of looking at the total in this game too. So if you guys are interested in checking out jaXon, there's a link in the description of the video. You can get 50% off of whatever tier that you use to sign up for. jaXon is not just for NBA, but NFL props. A lot of great things you guys can use jaXon for. NCAA, it's a lot of great things you can size, totals, whatever. But getting into that's for jaXon. But getting into the actual matchup between the Rockets and the Raptors, this is kind of like jaXon is not what I'm reading. Don't make me feel like jaXon is confident in the play today, the over or the under. And I'm kind of right there with jaXon on this one. So real quick, I just want to go back and see because I want to play on the total. I don't want to lay this many points with the Rockets on the road. And the Raptors are also going to be without Jakob Poeltl. So let's jump into it. I just want to see what the total opened up at. It opened 223, and it is going up. 224.5 is consensus, but I see a 225 on DraftKings as well, on FanDuel as well. So it is moving up. Spread open 7.5, and it's up to 8 now. So let's jump into this matchup. We'll go this matchup first, even though this is not the game that I want to have a play on. All right, so we have let me just get to my notes. So we have the Houston Rockets on the road, like we talked about. They are coming off 2 days rest. They beat the Pelicans, as jaXon said, by 20 points after losing that cup game to the Oklahoma City Thunder. This is the first leg of a back-to-back for both teams. The Rockets got the Charlotte Hornets tomorrow in Charlotte, and the Toronto Raptors, they got the Knicks tomorrow at the Garden. So both teams on the first leg of a back-to-back. The Raptors, third straight home game for them. Jackson mentioned this. They've lost 5 straight. Last loss was a bad one to Brooklyn. They did end up ruling Jakob was out for that game, of course, and then they also ended up ruling out RJ Barrett. He had an illness and didn't play in that game. You also getting Scotty Barnes back in that game after missing 2 games. So Raptors had a lot of moving parts in that game. So today it looks like only Tari Eason, let's call him Tari Eason for the Raptors is going to be out. For the Rockets is going to be out. And then on the opposite side, like I said, Jakob continues to be out. I did see Davion Mitchell had a shoulder injury. He is listed as a true game time decision. Looks like he's going to be questionable. So yeah, we talked about this already as well. Toronto won 5 of the last 6 and 6 of the last 7 in the head-to-head matchup. For whatever reason, they play the Rockets really, really tough, specifically at home. It is Sunday. We've seen some crazy things happen on Sunday. And the last season they did split though. Both teams won at home. So you got Fred VanVleet, of course, coming back to Toronto. That's a narrative. And then when I was looking into, like, just for a trend specific, because like I said, I don't want to lay too many points with the Rockets on the road. The Rockets are just 7-6 straight up and against the spread on the road so far this season. As a road favorite, a little bit better at 5-2 straight up, but only 4-3 against the spread. So they haven't covered, like the way you would want a team to cover if you're laying 8 points with them. The Toronto Raptors are 10-4-1 against the spread at home this season. I'm not sure if I think it's the second best ATS record behind only the Orlando Magic, who've lost, 3 straight home games now. But I do think that they are the second best home covering team. If they're not, they're up there. They have lost 5 straight home games, though. 5 straight home games for them. The last one they just happened to be a favorite in and still end up losing that game. So the way I was thinking about the game was I really wanted to get there with the under. I was thinking to myself, okay, well, I don't trust the Rockets to shoot that well from the three-point line again. The Rockets shot 57.5% against the Pelicans the other day. 50 for 87 is what they shot. 43.5% from the three-point line, 17 to 39 from 3. That is not the Rockets that we know. We just saw this Rockets team not be able to throw a rock in the ocean when they were playing against the Thunder the other day. So I thought to myself, all right, well, I expect the Rockets, offense to struggle a little bit against the Raptors. I expect the Rockets to be able to dominate the boards in this game, especially without Jakob being there. But then I started thinking about Jakob not being there. I'm not sure how much I want to trust this Raptors defense without Jakob I kind of feel like even though because they've lost 5 games in a row at the crib, they probably will, get up for this one. I do think that they're going to put forth some effort in this game, but that kind of scared me a little bit. So then I thought, well, maybe Rockets team total over. And that's where I kind of landed. Maybe the Rockets could get to 117. I do expect the Raptors to be playing with pace in this game. Listen to Coach Ime Udoka and Jalen Green after the game. They both talked about, wanting to play faster, wanting to get more shots up. And it kind of feels like they should be able to in this game. Trusting the Rockets offensively on the road is kind of scary. I will be honest with you guys, but that's the way I kind of landed. Here's a quote from Jalen Green after the game. He says, quote, "Really, we were playing fast, scoring in transition, getting defensive stops that led to dunks, and then saw a couple go in. So that was nice. That has been the main thing for us, to run more. We want to play fast. We have a lot of athletes, so coaches emphasize that. And as a team, we try to get stops and get out and run. So do the Raptors, if they get out and get stops and run, they may even cover the spread here at 8. But I do kind of feel like, just based on this quote, based on, what I'm looking at for the game, and it was one more thing I wanted to check out real quick. But I kind of feel like they should be able to get out and run in this spot. Let's match the 2 teams up real quick. The Jakob thing really, really scares me. And I'll give you guys a player prop I'm looking at as well in this game that I haven't pulled the trigger on yet. So full season, the Rockets are 12th in offensive rating. Last 5 games, they are 10th in offensive rating. That big game against the Pelicans helped a lot because I remember seeing them at like bottom 5 offensively before that game. And then, like I said, they're still not a great 3-point shooting team. They shot, what did I tell you guys? It was 44% from the 3-point line pretty much in that last game. They still are shooting 32% from the 3-point line last 5 games, which is bottom 5 in the NBA. They are pushing pace. They are 7th in transition frequency, 8th in points scored, but the Raptors have been pretty good defensively in that role as well. 6th in opponent frequency, 7th in opponent points allowed per 100 possessions. So that all of that kind of kind of balances itself out just a little bit. The Rockets are averaging right at 113.2 points per 100 possessions, and the Raptors are giving up 114.5. So 114.5 points in their last 5 games, which is bottom 10 in the NBA. I do think the Rockets, like I said, should dominate the glass. They are 2nd in offensive rebounds over the last 5 games. The Toronto Raptors have actually slipped to 22nd in opponent offensive rebound rate. And without Jakob Poeltl, I feel like that's going to be a big struggle for the Raptors in this spot. Let's see real quick where the Raptors are trying to score the ball from and the defense for the Rockets in those specific positions. So Toronto, 22nd in points scored per 100 possessions, 24th in effective field goal percentage last 5 games. They are shooting a lot at the rim, number 1 in rim frequency, but 26th in rim accuracy. So they're getting to the rim and shooting a lot of shots at the rim, not making them at all though. Top 5 in frequency, bottom 5 in accuracy. And that's really it. They're not shooting the ball. Corner threes, they're shooting the fifth most at the 16th best percentage, which is 36%. The Raptors have struggled from that shot zone specifically, allowing teams to shoot 52.5% from that shot zone, but they are number 1 in opponent corner 3 frequency. So they're not giving up that shot a lot. Toronto offensively in the half court, 27th rated offense last 5 games. Not pushing pace, 23rd in frequency, 22nd in points allowed per 100 possessions. And the Rockets are really good about getting back in defense. They're actually number 2 in transition, in opponent transition frequency, in opponent transition points scored per 100 possessions. So their defense has been pretty good. Overall, this kind of makes me think that the Rockets, I know I don't like laying points with the Rockets, but it makes me think that the Rockets may be a potential cover in this game. Real quick, I want to go to a prop I was looking at, and then I'll see what you guys are talking about in the chat. So I'm gonna share my screen. We're gonna look at Outlier, and this is Kelly Olynyk, who will probably most likely get the start today without Jakob Poeltl being there in this game. And you can see here, Kelly Olynyk's points are sitting at 5.5 in this game. This is his last 10 games. So this dates all the way back to last season, of course. You can see some games in here from April. What is that? 4 games from April. But this is his game log. If we just go 2024, this is the 5 games that he's played so far this season. You can see he's up and over. You just need him to get the 6 points. You got 13 against the Dallas Mavericks, 6 against the New York Knicks. He didn't score against Miami, but 7 and 8 against Chicago and Brooklyn. You can see the minutes. They are on the uptick. This was the game, of course, without Jakob Poeltl, 17.6. I'm expecting him to play probably close to that again. I do think that he can squeeze up and over the 5.5 points. I do think that this is a really live number. You can see that the number just came out today, about 12:15. So it hasn't been available for that long. So yeah, this is what I like, man. Kelly Olynyk up and over his points prop. If you go through and look at the defensive stuff, like I said, they are getting to the rim a lot. Number 1 in rim frequency, but they're just not making their shots. I've seen the Rockets really struggle to guard the rim. Specifically, that game against the Golden State Warriors, where Jonathan Kuminga and Wiggins was just dunking on Sengun. It felt like every other play. So if I'm playing a player prop, it is Kelly Olynyk up and over his points prop at 5.5 for people that are interested. You can see his juice to -125, which imply odds or whatever. Y'all know what all that good stuff mean. They are pretty good against the center position. You can see that they give up the 7 fewest points, but I'm thinking that Kelly Olynyk gets the minutes today, and that's the way that I would play. I would be looking at a player prop. This is Outlier for people that are interested. The link for, if you want to check out Outlier, you can do that using the link in the description of the video as well. 7-day free trial for anybody that's interested in checking out Outlier. Real quick, let me check one more thing, and then I'll go through a couple of the comments real quick. I feel like Let's see. One second. Y'all bear with me for a second. We y'all liking the NFL today? Would y'all lay the points with the Bengals minus the 10 versus the Browns? Probably not, right? It's a little bit too much. Philly, Washington, lay the 4 with the Eagles. Minnesota, Seattle. Minnesota can beat Seattle, right? Who knows? I need to get something submitted real quick before the NFL starts, and then I'll go through a couple of the comments real quick. This will be really, really quick. Saturday, Sunday. All right, we should be good. God, it's a lot of games this week. Saints, 1, 2, 3. Hold on, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, cool. I just need to get that submitted before 1 o'clock. All right, let's go back up real quick and see what you guys are thinking here. Cold as a Justin Ivy. My house set on 68, so it's like extremely cold out here, man. It's freezing down here. I like it though. Chad says Raptors get smoked here. I kind of felt the same, Chad. If I had to play the spread, man, I think I'd be looking at the Rockets. I'm not gonna play it. I don't think though. Chad says Raptors are a good first half team though. GLB Best says he's on Toronto plus the points. Let's see. Raptors plus 8. Chad says Raptors will win. Will not be able to stop the Rockets in the paint. I just said this. He said that all Adams off the bench will be hilarious. Who keeps him off the boards? I agree. I definitely agree. Let's see what else. Discord link. You got to email me, Kurt, if you want the Discord link. Email address is in the description. GLB Best says Toronto 4-1 against the spread as a home dog against good teams. Jazz is not without Pirtle. They aren't. What up, Jabba Downs? He says, what it do, peep? Got Pacers plus 3.5. Pray for me. We're going to get to that game in just a second. Kings game is next, Cesar. We're definitely going there for sure. Chemi likes the Eagles money line, the Lions minus 2.5. Kind of buying some points there. It's rainy out in Seattle. Rainy weather. Vikings should get it done. Seattle scary at home defense. Yeah, man. NFL. I'm just more of a player props guy. It's difficult. So GLB Best says definitely wish Porter was out there. So what I'll say is I actually had some notes. Actually, they right here. So I was thinking Pirtle was super big for like his impact on the game with the Rock, well, just in general, but it actually doesn't change too much. The Toronto Raptors have an offensive rebound rate of 31% with Jakob Pirtle on the floor. They've allowed 116.5 points per 100 possessions with him on the floor. Without him on the floor, they still got the offensive rebound rate actually goes up. That's kind of puzzling to me. It goes from 31% up to 34%, so they get more offensive rebounds when he's off the floor, and then they give up less points. They give up 115 points per 100 possessions without Jakob Pirtle. So he didn't really move the needle as much as I thought that he would. I do kind of feel like I said, I feel like this game is going to be played fast. I don't know if the Raptors can keep up with the Rockets, though, without Jakob Pirtle. That's just my thoughts. Let's see. Steve says Michael over his points. Rebounds, Amin Thompson over his points. Jalen Green over his assists. Player props, Geno Smith over on interceptions, Brian says. Seahawks money line for Marquise. Okay. All right, let's keep it moving. Next game up, we got I went forward, went backwards instead. We actually should be here. I think both of these games started 6. This was actually the first game. The second game, I just put them in bad order. So we got the Pacers on the road playing against the Kings. Kings are short favorites now at just 2 points. This line did open at 3.5. So money's coming in on the Pacers here. Total open 235.5 is what I see. It's up to 236.5. So we got a Pacers team that is coming off 2 days rest. 3 straight wins for them. They beat the Phoenix Suns in their last game, beat the Pelicans before that, and they smoked the Philadelphia 76ers as well. 3 straight wins, 3 straight covers for the Pacers. First leg of a back-to-back. They got the Golden State Warriors tomorrow in Oracle. And then on the Kings side, second leg of a back-to-back for them. They lost back-to-back games, of course, to the Lakers. Third game in 4 nights for the Kings as well. 3 straight losses. Like I said, 2 came to the Lakers, 1 came to the Denver Nuggets by 1 point at home as well. This is another home game for them. They get these really long homestands for some reason. 4 straight non-covers for this Kings team though. They're actually just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games. 5-8 against the spread as a home favorite, with 3 straight, like I said, non-covers as home favorites as well in their last 3 games. Injury report here: the Kings can still submit, of course, because it is the second leg of a back-to-back. But the only person I saw in the injury report was on the Pacers side of things, and that is going to be Ben Shepherd. Looks like he's listed as game time decision. I think that he's probably going to play. He is listed as questionable though. It's a left oblique strain, so potentially no Ben Shepherd. He has helped this team a lot. I know if you look at his box score from last game, it doesn't look like a lot, but Ben Shepherd is big for this team, especially when you don't have Aaron Nesmith, who continues to be out. But you know what they do got? They got Andrew Nembhard. He's been lights out for them. If people have been watching, the numbers quantify with him being on the floor. Excuse me, with him being on the floor is a much different team. So I'm playing the Pacers here. I am playing the Pacers. I'll just go out and say I'm gonna take the Pacers, and I could be wrong. We'll see how it goes. But plus 2.5 is available right now on ESPN. On Bet MGM. So you got a 6-rated offensive team in the Pacers over their last 5 games. The top 6 offensive rated, top 6 defensive rated team last 5 games. They're shooting it well from all over the floor. They're actually top 10 in each shot zone over the last 5 games, which is cool because then it makes your offense a little less predictable. But the 3-point shots are actually falling now. They're getting to the rim. They're getting their mid-range. They're 11th in transition frequency, 7th in transition points scored per 100 possessions. But the Kings are the Kings haven't been playing defense poorly outside of the Denver game, but they played 2 really good defensive games against the Lakers. They are really good in transition defense. Sacramento's top 5 in both opponent transition frequency and opponent points scored via transition buckets. So that does lend itself towards an under. I do like the under in this game as well. Haven't pulled the trigger. Looking at defensively for the Pacers, in my opinion, they just got to be able to guard the rim in the mid-range shot because Sacramento can't shoot the ball as of late. They keep having these very explosive games from the 3-point line where they get to 125, 130 points, but that's just not who they are. I listened to Coach Mike Brown, talk about that, them being a 40% 3-point shooting team from a couple years ago when they had one of the highest offensive ratings that we've ever seen in basketball. That's not who this team is right now. Keegan Murray's not shooting the ball as well from the 3-point line. Malik Monk, De'Aaron Fox, and none of the guys are shooting the ball as well from the 3-point line. They shot just 27% from 3 yesterday against the Lakers. Last 5 games, they're actually a bottom 8 3-point shooting team. And the Pacers defense has been just inside the top 10 in opponent mid-range accuracy. And they've done a really good job of protecting the paint and the rim, which is where Sacramento has been scoring all their points. Indiana's bottom is right outside the both the top 10 in the last 5 games in mid-range opponent shooting and paint points as well. So they've done a really good job there. Sacramento is running a lot. They're 8th in transition frequency, but the Pacers are also a really good transition defense. Top 5 Pacers are last 5 games, which also lends itself to an under. Both of these teams like to play fast. Both of these teams are really good defensive teams in transition. So you got Hallie, of course, back in Sacramento. Always the revenge narrative there. I guess you could say the same for Sabonis, but Sabonis is not 100%. Kind of listening to Coach Mike Brown talk about it after the game. There's certain things that are kind of compromised with his game right now because I think it was a foot injury that he was dealing with. And then I talked about the impact of Andrew Nembhard. On the floor, the Pacers are actually a plus 19. So they're outscoring their opponents by about 19 points per 100 possessions with Nembhard on the floor. With him off the floor, they're getting outscored by 6.5 points. That's a big, big difference. Specifically on the defensive end, they give up 11 more points without Andrew Nembhard on the floor. So I do think that it's a Pacers spot. Like it sets up well for the Pacers. The Pacers have been Jekyll and Hyde. Neither one of these teams are great. Grand scheme of things. You got a Pacers team that's 13-15 straight up, a Kings team that's 13-16 straight up. And I looked at a couple trends as well. So unrested home favorites on a 3-game losing streak facing an opponent that's on a 3-game winning streak typically lends itself well to back in Sacramento in this spot. 37-25 straight up. However, if you add that, it's a super short line, 1 possession or less, those home favorites that have played, that have lost 3 straight games and are unrested, they're only 10-18 straight up. So that says to take the points with the Indiana Pacers here. I do like the Pacers. I'm gonna bet the Pacers plus 2.5. I actually got it in the bet slip right now. Pacers plus 2.5 is available on BetMGM. I do think that they can get the job done. You can say it's kind of square because they're the hotter team right now. I do think if you like Sacramento, you probably want to take Sacramento early. For whatever reason, they've been coming out to really slow starts. I'm expecting them to have some fight in this game. Listening to De'Aaron Fox and Keon Ellis and Sabonis and Coach Mike Brown after the game yesterday, they're trying to find joy in playing basketball. I do think, a little bit of it is Keegan Murray regression from the 3-point line and, still trying to implement DeMar DeRozan. And now you got Malik Monk in the starting lineup and Kevin Huerter coming off the bench. And they just can't put it together for 4 straight quarters. But I do think that if you like Sacramento, I feel like they're kind of favored for a reason here. I don't think that they're going to win the game, but I do think that they can keep it close early. So I'll be playing Sacramento first half on the money line if I like Sacramento. But I do like the Kings. I'm sorry, I like the Pacers for the full game though. Couldn't talk you guys off for just taking the money line, but plus 2.5 will be in my pocket for today. Didn't look at player props in this one, but if I had to play, I don't know what I would play, honestly. I won't even talk about player props in this game. Not something that I looked into. Chad says Kings are a disaster. Fox trade rumors, they look very, very off. I agree with that. When you start talking about joy, and that was what the beat writers kept talking about. Like, so it seemed to me when I was going through and looking at the game to handicap this game, De'Aaron Fox was interviewed first, and he talked about, he kept talking about finding joy in, playing basketball. And after they interviewed De'Aaron Fox, they went to De'Aaron Fox with they went to everybody else with what De'Aaron Fox said. It was to whatever they said to Mike Brown, it led with De'Aaron Fox. Whatever they said to Monte to Ellis, they led with what De'Aaron Fox said. Same thing with Sabonis. So it does kind of. I agree, Chad. Like this is not looking good. I'm hearing that it could potentially be De'Aaron and Victor in San Antonio. We know Chris Paul won't be there, but maybe this is his last year. We'll see. But that's what I'm hearing, that it could potentially be there. We'll see how it goes though. Will says, "What up though, Chris? About to cover my nose and play Dylan Brooks over his 14.5 points. He's over in 3 of his last 5, over in 4 of his last 5 against them, and he's from Canada." That is all good narratives for me. Well, all good supporting data in my opinion. I like the handicap. Dylan Brooks gonna go 1 for 7, or he could potentially go 6 for 9. That's just what Dylan Brooks gets you. Avery likes the Pacers plus 2. He says Kings on not a buy on team right now, and I agree. Somehow they still end up favorites in this game. Last time I tried to fade the Kings at home, I didn't do it in either one of these Laker games, but they were playing against Houston and beat Houston outright in that spot. They were a home favorite in that game. They covered the spread too. That was when Dylan Brooks actually poked the bear with De'Aaron Fox and then got cooked. It's always tough, taking a team that doesn't play great defense. But like I said, the Pacers have been playing a little bit better defense as of late. And you could poke holes in the Pacers defense as well. The Pacers have not played against a great offensive team in a while. And I wouldn't say the Kings are a great offensive team. I guess that makes me feel better. Like I said, the Pacers have beaten the Phoenix Suns, which I guess the Phoenix Suns are a great offensive team. Devin Booker did get hurt, though. They played against the Pelicans. They're not good at anything. And they played against Philly. Philly is not a great offensive team right now. They're still not a great offensive team. Marquise says he likes Grady Dick over his 3.5 rebounds, over in 3 of his last 4 games. Strange as it sounds, Kings money line. I think Shepherd plays as well, dropping downs. I really do. I hope he plays. He says Tyrese is the star, but Nembhard is the glue, and I would agree with that as well. 1780 Guap says leaning towards the under in this matchup. I do like under. I think the total's going the wrong way. I think if I'm being honest with you guys, I like the Sacramento team total under, and that's really difficult to do. But I do feel like second leg of back-to-back, third game in 4 nights. You don't have a 100% healthy Sabonis. And the Pacers, like I said, don't look now, 6th best defense over the last 5 games. And when I was going through it and looking at the Pacers defensively, I think I still got it up. Let's see, real quick. Pacers defensively have been, I mean, to put some numbers to them being the 6th best defense over the last 5 games, they are, I know that they've held, I want to say all 3 of their last opponents under their team total. Let me see if I can get it to populate real quick. Defensively, I think the Kings team total is like 119.5. That's a lot. 120 points is a lot. I know it's the Pacers. I totally get it. They play fast, but like I said, defensively, both of these teams can kind of slow down the other team. I struggle with seeing the Pacers get to 120 points. Even if they win the game, I don't think they get to 120 points. So real quick, to put some numbers to that. Pacers played the Suns, held the Suns 10 points under their team total. The Suns scored 111. Suns got better offense than the Pacers, in my opinion. Against the Pelicans, held them to 104, but that's pretty easy to do. Against the Sixers, 107. All 3 of those opponents were under their team total. And I think that that's all correlated with them being healthy, them having rest. They've had 4 straight. They have had a game with 4 days rest, 3 days rest. And the Pelicans game don't really count because anybody can beat them right now. But they are the more rested team in this spot as well. So I like the team total under for the Kings. It's 119.5 was the number. And I think the best number was available on Fanatics. Sacramento team total under 119.5. I think that could be the look. If you don't want to lay the points with the Pacers, I do think that that's a solid look for sure. And like I said, didn't look too much at all in the player props. Probably will be there on the under. Dropping Dime says, what up, Markel? Kristen's sticking with Obi. Obi has been killing. Obi over his points. Siakam points and assists. Gotta go Pacers here, Kurt says. I like it. Derek says he likes Tyrese Halliburton double-double at plus 155. 3 straight double-doubles since the Charlotte loss, averaging 22 and 11 assists last 3 games. I like it. I like the plus money on it as well, Derek. Nice look here from Derek in the chat. Moneyball says 119 to 111. Pacers have covered their last 3 on the road. They've been showing up. Yeah, they have been. They absolutely have been. Let's see what else. Miles Turner over his 1.5 threes. Will says gets a bonus out the paint. I like that look. I can see that. Indiana Pacers are 6 and 17 in their last 23 games on the road. I don't know if this is true. This might be in I feel like the Pacers play better on the road. I'm not about to look into that, but appreciate you for sharing. He says they're 3 and 8 against the spread in their last 11 games on the road. Not so fast, Pacers. Good luck. So what are the Kings? Did you look into that? He says the unders hit 15 games in Sacramento of the Sacramento Kings last 22 games versus bottom 10 scoring defenses. Okay. Appreciate you for sharing all that. Let's get over to the last game, a game that I didn't look too much into at all, which is the Nuggets and the Pelicans. I noted this line when I was looking at it yesterday. It was at 8.5. I was just kind of looking ahead. So money has come in on the Nuggets to cover as favorites. I will say this, just off the top of my head, I know that the Nuggets have not been profitable on the road laying points this season. This is not something that they have done a good job of. I want to say, I know they were laying points against the Trailblazers the other day. They lost that game outright. And I want to say they've covered one game on the road so far as a favorite. Let me just double check myself real quick. Nuggets as road favorites. I want to say they were 1-5 going into that game. So that was the first thing I looked at. Not wanting to lay points with the Nuggets, but do you really want to take them with the Pelicans? The Pelicans have been a lot better. I said this 2 nights ago when I did the night show. I said the Knicks can absolutely do whatever they want to this team. Rebounding advantage was significant, and the Knicks kind of played around with their food in the first quarter and the first half. Third quarter, they started taking the game serious, still won and covered the spread. But the Pelicans have been much better at home than they've been on the road. They get smoked on the road, and I think they've been like slightly profitable at home against the spread anyway. So Saquon Barkley, 2-yard touchdown already. So the Nuggets, like I said, 3-4 straight up. This does not make you want to lay points with the Nuggets. They got one cover all season, and it came against the Jazz. We were actually on them in that spot. They were laying 10.5. I think we got 7.5, and they ended up winning that game by 19. Outside of that, last time that they were road favorites was against the Clippers. They lost that game by 4. They were laying 3. That was on a Sunday too. I remember that. Then they lost straight up to the Wizards, which is, boy, head scratcher. Then they, of course, just lost to the Trailblazers. They were laying points in every single game, lost all 3 of them outright. Not only did they not cover, they lost all of them outright. 1-6 against the number, like I said, for the Nuggets on the road. I would need to go in and see how motivated they're going to take this game, if I'm being honest with you guys. The Pelicans as a home dog are, let's see. I know that they have been like slightly profitable as a home dog. Let me just look at it real quick. They are 3-8 straight up, but 6-5 against the number. They didn't cover yesterday against the Knicks, of course. This is the second leg of a back-to-back. They have gone under in back-to-back games as a home dog as well. As a home dog as well. Looks like 5 of their last 7 games have actually hit the under as a home dog. Let me just match the 2 teams up on paper and check for look-ahead spots. So as far as look-ahead spots, because like I said, this was the game that I didn't dive too deeply into. As far as look-ahead spots, hold on. They played already? The Pelicans beat the Nuggets? Was this the game that? Yeah. Oh, okay. So Denver got. Oh, okay. Denver got. They might have a little revenge on their mind. This was the game that. I think this was the first game that Jokic didn't play in because his wife was having a baby. I totally forgot about that. So they lost to this Pelicans team already, 94-101 in New Orleans. They were laying 2 points in this game. No Jokic. Christian Braun had 15. Jamal Murray had 16. Peyton Watson had 18. Michael Porter Jr. had 24. The Pelicans had Brandon Ingram, who won't play in this game. He had 29, 9, and 7. That's a lot. Trey Murphy had 17. Brandon Boston had 19. Injury report for today. Christian Braun listed as game time decision. You don't like to see that. He is listed as probable though, with a low back strain. And on the Pelican side, Daniel Tice is he didn't play yesterday against the Knicks, so you got to wait on the injury report to see if he's going to be back. When I think about the game, of course, no Brandon Ingram, no Jose Alvarado, and no Zion Williamson. When I think about this game, it kind of makes me think a little bit about the Rockets game. It kind of makes me think a little bit about the Rockets game. I kind of feel like Denver should be able to dominate the glass in this spot. And I know the Pelicans aren't a great rebounding team. They're also not a great they're not a great shooting team in general. So this is going to be really dependent upon how, I do think Denver could come in here and clean these boys up. Do they win by double digits? I'm not 100% sure. Do I want to put my money on it? No, I just gave you guys the trends, but I do want to kind of find a way to get there with Denver. I guess I agree with the total going up. Denver, plays really, really fast. Number one in transition points per 100 possessions over the last 5 games. Number 2 offensive rated team over the last 5 games as well. I don't think that the Pelicans are going to be able to protect the rim, even though last 5 games they are top 10 rim team. But getting Jokic back, that's what Denver's bread and butter has been in the last 5 games. They're second in frequency, third in accuracy over the last 5 games at the rim specifically, and in the paint, number 2 in paint points. So I do think that they should be able to get whatever it is that they want in this game. Maybe even a Denver team total to go up and over to stay away from the spread. I feel like Denver should be able to score in this spot. Let's double check their team total. Denver's team total is 120.5. I don't think that the Pelicans are going to play slow. I feel like they've been playing a little bit faster as well. On the second leg of a back-to-back, it makes sense for them not to play slow, in my opinion. Let's see what their numbers look like. They're actually playing super slow. 21st in frequency, in transition frequency last 5 games. 28th in opponent transition points allowed per 100 possessions. I'm sorry, 28th in their own points scored via transition buckets over the last 5 games. And Denver is terrible. They are actually the bottom 5 in transition points and opponent frequency last 5 games. So matching the two teams up on paper, I guess it makes sense that this total is moving up. I just worry about the Pelicans. I guess the Pelicans should be able to contribute. 111 points feels like a lot for the Pelicans, though. Let's see real quick. As a home dog, the Pelicans are only averaging. I know they didn't get there against the Knicks yesterday, even though they started the game off really, really well. But I do kind of feel like Denver's going to be able to score. 121 is a lot, though. But I do feel like 120.5, I think, is the best play here. Let me see if I can pull up the Pelicans as home dogs. It's taking forever to load. Okay, we got it right here. All right, so Pelicans as a home dog. They only got to 93 against the Knicks last night. They got to 109 against the Kings, 109 against the Thunder. It has been since the Suns game where they scored 126 points. That's the only time since November the 6th that they've actually reached 110 points. That kind of makes me think under. They haven't given up 122, only to the Suns, who got to 124 in that spot. So this kind of makes me think that the total is a tad bit too inflated. Denver can win this game, I think, however they want to. Like I said, the Pelicans offense is it's pretty anemic right now. It's pretty bad. They aren't doing anything well. They aren't doing anything well. I have no idea what to do with this game, man. No idea. Let's take some suggestions, see what you guys are talking about. I'm gonna jump off here. But I can see Jokic having a big game. Let's see. Nuggets 121, 112.5. Moneyball says 1780. Guap's first half total at 118. Only angle I can take in this game. Like the over? Carmen says the Pelicans are 8-2 against the spread in their last 10 games at home. That's not true. I do not think that is true. Let me just double check you real quick. I don't know where you're getting that number from. Pelicans 8-2 against the spread in their last 10 games at the crib. I don't think so. Yeah, that's definitely not true. Yeah, I just said that they're 6-5 against the spread as a home dog. So there's no way that they're 8-2 against the spread in general in their last 10 games. Yeah, they didn't cover yesterday against the Knicks. They didn't cover against the Thunder. They didn't cover against the Raptors. That's 3 of their last 5 right there. So they're actually 2-3 in their last 5 games, Carmen. You gotta make sure you get this stuff right. Whatever website you're using, not right. Let's see. Jokic over his 21.5 rebounds and assists. I like this one, Justin. I like this a lot. And matter of fact, let's go look at it a little bit deeper. Let's go over here to let's go to Outlier. Again, there's some stuff. It's a link in the chat. You can get a 7-day free trial with Outlier if you're interested in checking out Outlier. But Jokic makes a ton of sense in my opinion. I think he dominates the boards, whether Daniel Tice plays or not. And we know that he's going to have the ball in his hand. So the assist, I think potential assists are going to be there as well. So looking at Jokic, rebounds and assists. potentially his triple-double. So rebounds and assists for Jokic, you can see that he's only over in 5 of his last 10 games. Head-to-head wise, all 3 of his last 10 games. All 3 of these games were last season as well. November 6th last year, November 17th last year, and then earlier this year on January the 12th, he's up and over this 21.5 in all 3 games. You can also see that the Pelicans are a bottom 6 defensive rebounding team, or just rebounds allowed in general. They're allowing a lot, and they allow the 3rd most assists. So this makes a ton of sense here. To the center position, they're giving up the bottom 10 in rebound rate. They are limiting, but Jokic is not a regular center. So this makes a ton of sense. You can see that this opened at 20.5. It's up to 21.5 now as well. So let's see. Let's just look at his away game specifically. Number gets better for the full season, up and over in 7 to 11 games on the road, 64%. Looks like, what is that? 5 out of the last 6 games as well. I'm gonna tell Justin on this one. I know that the rebound chances are going to be there. I know that the potential assists are going to be there. So let's take this out. Home games. Yeah, they just don't got this listed right now. But yeah, all of these are, I think this is solid. I think this is really solid. I like this number a lot for Jokic. Rebounds and assists up and over 21.5. I'm going to add that to my short list and probably end up making that a play. Shout out to my guy, Justin. I was thinking that, but I didn't know how I wanted to play him. Nikola Jokic. What was the number again? Let me see where I can find the best number real quick, and then we'll get into a quick recap because I don't like this game. I'll go finish the rest of the comments though. $21.5 is the best number. Looks like it's available on Caesars right now. Yeah, I like that a lot. I think I am going to add that. Shout out to Justin, like I said. I'm going to ride with him on that one. 21.5 rebounds and assists for Jokic. He could have 10 rebounds in the first quarter in this game. All right, let's go back. A couple more comments real quick. I was about to say, my brother, you scared me. I have Nuggets first half -10. Oh, what up, Mark? He says Denver -8.5. He got it last night. 421 says, what up, Chris? This game got Jokic triple-double written all over it. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Let's see triple-double for Jokic. I know that the odds have been plummeting, but I could definitely see a Jokic triple-double in this spot. Looks like the best number is, you can get plus 200 on Bet365, which means that if you build it out on Bet365, you probably get even better odds. Jokic triple-double plus 200. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. It's only 145, plus 145 on FanDuel. That's why you shop around, get the best of the number. Value on the Pacers once it reaches 10.5, potentially. SK says Nuggets lost to the Wizards and Blazers. No way I'm laying points. I can't quite do it either, SK. I think that they should score. They are coming off a loss to the Blazers. Like I said, I like to listen to what Mike Malone says after they lose a game like that. You're not supposed to lose to the Blazers laying 8.5. And we've seen them, come back and play really well, but they also got a big Christmas Day game coming up against the Suns, and like, what you getting up for this game for? We'll see. Moneyball says pass. Touchdown Eagles. Chad likes that. Rebounds and assists against the Pelicans. Yeah, we looked at that. Appreciate you for just sharing that, Justin. I'm telling you there. Kristen says she likes Murphy points and Misi rebounds in this spot. Okay. Appreciate you for tapping in, Justin. Eagles 14-0. God, they smoking my Commanders like that, man. Lost to the Blazers. They're about to run these boys off the floor. I can see them bouncing back and getting right in this spot for sure. It's a buy. I wouldn't say a buy low spot, laying double digits on the road, but they can clean these Pelicans up for sure. They can definitely clean the Pelicans up. So quick recap. Nikola Jokic, I'm gonna add that 21 and a half rebounds and assists. I did make Indiana plus 2.5 an official play since we've been doing the show. I'll share it with the members in just a few minutes. But that was one of the things I locked in because I don't want that number to continue to get lower. That's what I'm liking for today, man. That is what I'm liking for today. Give me the Pacers plus 2.5. Like I said, really want to get there with the Raptors in some, not the Raptors, the Rockets in some form of way, taking a team total over or something like that with no Jakob Poeltl. But I'm gonna stay off of that game, and I'm gonna stay off this last game too. But I do like Nikola Jokic up and over his 21 and a half rebounds and assists. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Let me know. Let me know what you guys are betting in the comments, and I will be back tomorrow. We got a bunch of games for tomorrow. Resources for everything that I use to handicap the games are here. You guys see me use some of these throughout the show. jaXon at the beginning, Outlier throughout the show, Moneyballer. I'm always checking trends over there as well. So check those out. And OddsJam, I use the Sportsbook Referral page for. You can get, pretty much a discount on any of these that you want to try. A 7-day free trial with Outlier as well. If you guys are interested in checking out Outlier, all of the links for these are in the description of the video. So that'll be the show for today. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. As always, the positivity, the extra handicapping, all of those things are extremely helpful. Enjoy your Sunday. I'm about to go turn the football on because NBA games don't start until 6. And I will catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.